Well, first up, let's tell you about the war in West Asia. US President Donald Trump has said that he's prepared to launch more attacks on Iran if the country refuses to agree to a peace deal. However, he has said that he would wait for a few more days before making any final decision on that, hoping to get the right answers from Iran. He further said that the war situation is right on the borderline, warning that the tensions could rise very quickly depending on the response that will come in from Iran. And his remarks, remember, comes at a time when there are growing concerns over the possibility of a further escalation between the two countries.
Gavin Newsom.
He said it doesn't have what?
It says that Trump, the era of Trump ends with you, and that J.D. Vance doesn't have what it takes to come after you.
Well, look, we've done a lot, and J.D.'s very talented. He's a smart guy. He'll do very well if it's J.D. We have a lot of very talented people. So I think hopefully we're going to leave something that's going to be real easy to run. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot, and JD's a very talented guy.
Is Newsom and Iran have to respond? After you said yesterday you're about an hour away from making a decision, where does that stand today? Have you heard anything from them?
It's right on the borderline, believe me. If we don't get the right answers, it goes very quickly. We're all ready to go. We have to get the right answers. It would have to be a complete 100% good answers, and if we do, we save a lot of time, energy, and lives, most importantly.
How long will you wait?
Could go very quickly. Or a few days. It could be a few days, but it could go very quickly. Iran is a defeated nation. We're dealing with some people, and actually, I must tell you, we're dealing with some very good people. We're dealing with people that are, I think, far more reasonable than the people that are really no longer with us. We're dealing with some people with talent, with good brain power, and we're pretty impressed by it. So hopefully those people will make a deal that's going to be great for everybody.
Are you getting tired of the
But I don't know. Do I get what?
And now, responding to the rising tensions with US, Iranian president has said that Iran remains committed to diplomacy and peaceful engagement despite the growing pressure coming in, and also warning coming in from US President Donald Trump. In a post that he has shared on social media, the Iranian president has said that Iran has honored the commitments and has explored every possible way to avoid the war with US. He rejected the idea that Iran could be forced to surrender through threats and warning. The Iranian president also said that diplomacy based on mutual respect is a way wiser, safer, and more sustainable path than the military conflict. As far as Donald Trump is also concerned, his remarks come at a time when the tensions are increasing between the two countries after Donald Trump warned that US is prepared to carry out further attacks if Iran does not agree to a peace deal. All right, so that's the latest coming in from Iranian president, a response to the threat and the warning that has been given by Donald Trump. And responding to the rising tensions, Iranian president has said that Iran remains committed to diplomacy and dialogue. Let me get you more perspective and go across to my colleague Mayank, who's been tracking all the details coming in from West Asia. Good morning, Mayank. Back to, channel talks are underway. The ceasefire is in place. But the big question is will it hold or not? Because Donald Trump has said that he's hoping to get the right answers from Iran. Tell us, what is the friction point between the two countries and the right answers that Donald Trump is hoping for?
Good morning, Akansha, and good morning to the viewers. Interestingly, right from the 11th of April, when the indirect talks in Pakistan took place, J.D. Vance had come out with a statement saying that whatever could not happen is because of the disagreements on nuclear issues. When I say nuclear issues, it is actually enrichment of fissile material, which is uranium in this case. And US had been, or rather US and Israel jointly had been right from the beginning wanting, apart from the two other things, one thing is that Iran should give up all its rights to enrich uranium or to develop its uranium to the weapons grade level wherein it can assemble the fuel with the bomb or trigger. The other two conditions on when the operation started on 28th of February, that to change the regime, to blunt the military-industrial complex production capability of Iran to such an extent that they are not able to help the proxies, which is Houthi Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas in this case. So coming back specifically to the point, actually, J.D. Vance was the one who came out talking about the nuclear aspect. So till today, the issues remain the same. But the way Strait of Hormuz was used as a strategic tool by Iran, it has engulfed the whole world. So there is an indirect pressure on US on that. Specifically on the kind of statements which are it's a very sensitive talk, and it is a very high-stake talk which is going on between Iran and the US. So in this case, positioning or sort of environment shaping by pressurizing or psychologically influencing the other side is normal. Both sides are doing the same thing right from the beginning, since the ceasefire started on 8th of April. So what you see is actually these kind of words, and similar words have been used. One of the words which I specifically remember is a statement which was made by President Donald Trump, is that they'll be bombing Iran to its stone age. To that, the retort had come from the Iran side, saying that they'll be escalating the cost to an unbearable level. This is how the war of words have been going on between both sides. It is only
war
to
of words
shape the
continue, as you also mentioned. And at this point in time, Iranian president has said that Iran remains committed to diplomacy and the peaceful engagement, despite the growing pressure and the statements that we have seen in the last few days coming in from US President Donald Trump. Stay on with us, Mayank. Let me take our viewers through what Iranian president has posted on social media. As we told you, he said that Iran has honored the commitments and explored every avenue to avert the war. All paths remain open from our side. Forcing Iran to surrender through coercion is nothing but an illusion. Mutual respect and diplomacy is far wiser, safer and more sustainable than the war. And this has been the stand of Iran, that they will not succumb to any sort of pressure, and the warning that has come in from Donald Trump. But in the latest, Donald Trump has mentioned that he will once again attack Iran, but he will give them some time, few more days, to get the right answers from Iran as far as the peace deal is concerned. All right, so that has been the stand of Iran so far. In fact, Iranian president has stated that Iran has honored the commitment and has explored every possible way to avoid the war. And he has also rejected the idea that Iran could be forced into surrender through pressure. All right, let me take you through the ceasefire, because that remains in place, and how the ceasefire really back-channel talks have also unfolded in the last 1.5 months. On April 8th, remember the temporary ceasefire that came into effect, and the ceasefire, after weeks of escalating conflict, we saw a full-blown war between the two nations, and other countries were also involved. On April 21st, Donald Trump said that the ceasefire gets extension. Pakistan continues the back-channel diplomacy as well. Early May, that is earlier this month, talks stall over the new question, sanction deadlock as well, and Iran demanded rollback of the sanction. On May 15th, Iranian foreign minister said that US has sent signals for talks. Iran sees renewed diplomatic opening, and that was around May 15th. 3 days later, Iran reportedly sent revised framework. Donald Trump pauses the strike to allow diplomacy. And on May 19th, Donald Trump has once again said and warned that if talks collapse, then he will bomb Iran once again. Iran warns of opening new fronts as well. On May 20th, Trump has said that talks are in the final stage, warns of another big hit if needed, and if peace deal is also not achieved.